We're starting a new chapter now, all about external references in AutoCAD. They're also sometimes known as XREFs. You'll often hear AutoCAD people talking about XREFs, which are external reference files which are in essence electronically paperclipped behind your host drawing. So if you look at the drawing we've got for you at the moment, which is called XREFs.dwg, you can see that that dashed grey boundary line is actually paperclipped behind your drawing. It's your property line, and it's actually kind of joined electronically behind it. You can download XREFs.dwg from the library, and also you want to download the other drawing, the property line drawing, from the library as well. So they're both in the same folder. I'll explain why in a moment. So if I select this XREF, this external reference file, you can see that it highlights in blue like any other AutoCAD object, but you'll notice the ribbon behaves very differently. It brings up the external reference contextual tab. And it tells me that I can edit the reference in place, open the reference file because it is a separate DWG. I can create a clipping boundary and remove a clipping boundary. And I can also check out the external references that are attached to this particular host drawing. So the host drawing is the XREFs.dwg file. If I click on external references like so, it'll open up the external references palette, which I'm now going to extend out a bit for you. As you can see, there's quite a lot of information there. I'm just going to take that all the way out like so. Now, when you expand it out, you can see what's going on. So there's XREFs. That is our host drawing, and it's opened and it's the current drawing. You can then see the property line drawing, the other DWG file, which you also need to download from the library and put it in the same folder as the XREFs drawing. It is loaded as an XREF. It's an attachment, and you can see there the save path is propertyline.dwg. Now, the reason there's no full path there is because it's stored in the same folder as the XREFs host drawing, which means it's a relative path. And when we start looking at XREFs and how we bring XREFs in, you'll understand that. Now, the good thing is I can select my XREF there and I can right click on it and I can open it, I can attach it, I can compare it to other files. I can also unload, reload, detach it, bind it to the host drawing to make it all one drawing. What XREF type is it? Is it an attachment or an overlay? I can change the path type if I want to. I can make it an absolute path, which points to the whole file path rather than just a relative file path. I can select a new path to find a different XREF, and I can also find and replace XREFs as well. So there's a lot of different information going on there and things that you can do with these external reference files. The other thing as well is you'll notice that it's giving me details there. I can also look at the preview of it, and there's what it looks like. As you can see, there it is in the drawing there. So I can look at the details or the preview of it there. And you can see that it goes all the way. That's the actual raw absolute path there. But you can see that save path is just there because it's relative and it's in the same folder as the XREFs.dwg file. If I close the external references palette now, what you'll also find is in the bottom right corner on the status bar now, it tells you that you've got an XREF attached with that little orange symbol with the little paper clip there. So if I double click there, that will also open up the external references palette that we've just closed. Now, these XREFs are very useful because if you've got a really large, complex file that you want to paperclip to your existing drawing, the good thing is the file size is only about 10% of the actual file size when you XREF it in. So you're not making your host drawing a really big file. You're only using about 10% of the reference file, which makes life a lot easier for file size when you're manipulating your host drawings and your external reference drawings as well. What we're going to do as we go through this chapter is I'm going to show you some of the features and tools that you can use with external references in your AutoCAD drawings.